Hello and welcome to Group 1's presentation. As you can see, we will talk about how the HR department can help employees to be more environmentally responsible in a company. Why is it important? Well, with the financial crisis, companies have to focus on their sustainable development. Indeed, it has become essential for every company to integrate this new concept in its strategy in order to cope with the ecological problems. Therefore, many companies try to restrict their use of natural resources by being more environmentally responsible. Our presentation will be structured as followed. We will first give some explanation about our findings and methodology. Afterwards, we will focus on our results and develop our recommendation for UCB. Then, we will wrap up our presentation with a small conclusion. Let's first go through our findings. Thanks to the literature, we have identified 4 key concepts which structure the role of the HR department. First, the management commitment. Management commitments lies at the basis of making the employees act more sustainably inside the company. In other words, if a company wants to motivate its employees to take effective steps for environment improvement, the top management must be committed. Moreover, it is the top management's role to decide on the environmental policies to implement, the communication needed, and the required trainings. In fact, it is important to communicate the goals and priorities effectively to the employees so that they know exactly how to achieve the goals. In addition to a good communication, specific trainings are also efficient to raise awareness among the employees and the managers. If the HR managers want to motivate the employees toward more sustainable behaviors, they need to train them. A lack of training could lead to less involvement and willingness to act eco-friendly. The second concept is the employee empowerment. Employee empowerment is important as it gives employees responsibilities, and thus they feel that they are valuable for the company and for its success. Nowadays, employees need to feel that they are part of the company. An adequate structure within the company also helps the employee empowerment process. In the past, companies used to implement the top-down organization, which hindered any empowerment. Nowadays, most companies tend to operate with an horizontal organization, which allows employees empowerment. Besides, this type of structure creates a more open-minded management where all the employees can equally share their ideas. Another way to promote empowerment is to build cross-functional teams. Truth is that well-constructed teams can provide employees with a global vision of the company. It's a win-win situation since sharing environmental issues within these groups will help employees find green solutions. The third concept is the rewards. The rewards cover all the intrinsic as well as the extrinsic benefits that the workforce receives from its job. In fact, rewarding employees is usually used to motivate them and maximize their commitment to perform desired behaviors. There are various rewarding systems, such as financial rewards or recognition rewards. However, the literature emphasizes that the financial incentives are a lot more appreciated and are stronger motivators. Nevertheless, some researchers have shown that employees can get tired of only being congratulated with money. Besides, innovative non-monetary rewards such as paid vacation, time off, or even gift certificates turn out to be quite effective in stimulating employees. Furthermore, some employees enjoy being praised and motivated by recognition. The last key concepts are the feedbacks and reviews. First of all, the members in organization should continuously have access to the information regarding their environmental improvement. Therefore, communication and measure systems such as ISO 14001 should be implemented. However, before developing the aspect on feedback, one basis is necessary: emotional intelligence. Knowing the emotional intelligence of employees has a positive impact on the company's organization. On the one hand, it helps to determine the workforce self-regard, interpersonal skills, stress management, and ability to adapt. On the other hand, it ensures that employees understand properly the company's values and objectives. And finally, Regarding the effects of providing feedbacks, it enhances growth and development and improves job performance. Furthermore, it is said that it has a positive impact on employees' morale and reduces confusion regarding expectation and performance. Regarding the methodology, we first decided to conduct some researches on UCB. After having collected a set of consistent information, we have decided to organize interviews so as to get internal data. We figured out that the best way to proceed was to use semi-structured interviews. We have interviewed 5 employees of UCB. We have chosen 5 different profiles in order to get the broadest view possible. The only feature they share is that all of them are members of the Green Team. The first interviewee works in the technology department. We thought it would be interesting to learn what can be done in this area to improve the ecological footprint of the company. The second interviewee is the HR manager, who explained the role his department plays in the environmental project of the company. Our third and fourth person are important members of the Green Team. One of them is the team coordinator, and the other one is leading one team. The last interviewee is a regular employee of the HR department. For findings, we will first develop the success concept of the Green Teams at UCB. We will then focus on the 6 main themes that have come out of the interviews as key elements. The purpose of these Green Teams is to raise awareness about the environment. Therefore, the pioneers of the team try to stimulate their colleagues to be more environmentally responsible and to act in a more eco-friendly way. In order to communicate with their peers, the members of the Green Team use a dedicated website of the internet on which it's possible to like, comment, and read the company's performances from an environmental point of view. One fundamental aspect to understand is that the enrollment in the Green Teams is not compulsory at all. On the contrary, it usually comes from a personal conviction. Moreover, the personal's involvement is much appreciated by company's manager, but the employees involved have to bear in mind that it's not part of their jobs. Let's now explain our findings on the 6 main themes. The first aspect that has been highlighted throughout the interviews is the importance of the support of the top management. The influence of the CEO on the company's values and consequently on the environmental preoccupation of UCB can really be felt. The second aspect is the role of the HR department. As a matter of fact, motivating employees to act in an environmentally responsible manner is absolutely not in the task of the HR department. In other words, the role of the department does not include environmental concern for UCB. The budget is our third theme, and at UCB, no budget is allocated for the Green Teams. This means that no money is given to support the independent environmental project. As a result, it is very hard for the Green Teams to develop new projects. The lack of money is an issue for the people who want to get involved and further work on possible ways of reducing the energy waste of the employees. Regarding the fourth theme, which is the trainings, the opinion is mitigated. According to the HR department, it's not of its duty to influence or train the personnel on adopting a greener attitude. But truth is that it exists one compulsory training on the environment that every employee has to receive. Therefore, UCB provides this training to all its employees. However, people external to the HR department claim that there are no extra trainings provided for learning green practices, and that this lack of training results in a major restraint in developing a more environmental engaged workforce. The next aspect is the assessments, for which thought are rather broad already. The HR department confesses that it's not its job to assess one's green behavior. Furthermore, a member of a Green Team reveals that individual assessment remains problematic, as it's difficult to quantify and measure one's behaviors, such as sorting the waste or even switching off the lights. Nevertheless, the Green Teams try to measure and inform the personnel as much as possible on the company's overall environmental performances through the website or their in-house campaigns. And last but not least, the notion of reward is quite divergent depending on the people who were interviewed. According to the HR department, the company rewards its employees accordingly to their work benefit. In addition, the company provides financial bonuses or incentives to the people commuting to work by bike instead of by car, for example. Thanks to both the literature review and the data analysis, we are now able to step back and evaluate UCB's process to make the employees more eco-friendly. Indeed, interviews gave us an overall overview of the company's sustainable situation that we could then compare with the literature and therefore identify the company's strengths and weaknesses regarding its environment efforts. During the interviews, we were positively surprised to learn that the Green Team creation was the result of one employee's awareness. However, we could not understand why the top management and the rest of the company was not into this project. Therefore, we suggest a process of two stages. It begins with an improvement of the top management commitment. This first change will help in the realization of the second one, which is the bigger involvement of the HR department. By suggesting an increased top management commitment, we believe that this support and new appropriate context is essential so that, at the end, the HR department has all the tools needed to play a role in the realization of the enterprise project to be more environmentally responsible. Indeed, once the top management has set an adequate working environment, it is the HR department's responsibility to take action in order to make employees more eco-friendly. That brings us to the second step, which concerns the HR department. This phase includes 5 main steps, namely a new position in HR department, the improvement of the communication within the company, specific trainings, assessments and feedback systems, and finally, the attribution of rewards. Our findings confirmed our first assumption that the HR department has an important role to play in making the employees more eco-friendly. In fact, the literature insists on the 4 key concepts in order to implement an adequate structure for environmental changes in a company. Furthermore, 3 of these aspects, namely employee empowerment, reward systems, and feedbacks, are mean that have to be implemented by the HR department. In other words, if a company is willing to become more environmentally responsible, it is the HR department's role to find out and implement efficient ways to motivate its employees. However, in order to do that properly, a great commitment of the top management is mandatory.